So what are some of those elements and techniques that help you create a character that you have strong emotional ties to? Because that is also agreed. I mean, I was watching a show the other day and it was just like, ugh. Like I just like the plot was
Right.
the
Just
plot
don't
was
care.
plot was good, but I'm like, if I get up and go to the bathroom and I tell my wife, just keep playing it, it's fine. You don't have to pause it. I'm disconnected.
Right.
But then you watch other shows or you watch other movies and you're just like,
Or
no, no.
think about the classics, right? Think about the classic sitcoms, right? Like Friends or The Office,
Seinfeld, yeah,
right?
Office,
Or
right?
Seinfeld, right? They're classics or Cheers. I mean, because you care about the characters, right? It's like you don't care even if the jokes are not funny or I mean they are, but even if they weren't, you would still want to be with those characters. You just want to be in the same room with them, and that's why you keep tuning in week after week after week.
So what are some of those
Uh,
elements to create that emotional
so,
tie?
so there's, I mean, there's a whole bunch of them, right? I have a whole chapters in
Hmm.
my book, um, but in terms of connecting emotionally, right? So there's three things that I talk about, and you can see that very well with Pixar as well. So when I teach my classes on that, I show the Pixar clips and show you how it's done, and then show you the people that don't do it, right? So there's element of what I call pity, humanity, and admiration, right? So there's if you can create pity in the character, meaning we care about something that happens to them, right? So something happens, and it could be any character. You meet any character, you don't know anything about them, and if something happens to them that makes you feel sorry for them, like let's say they're bullied by someone, or they just got robbed, or they lost their wife, or they just lost their dog, or whatever it is, anything that makes us empathize and we feel sorry. And there's hundreds of those, right? So empathy and pity is one of them, right? You cannot you Because of the way we're built as humans, we cannot not care if you feel pity for someone, and it could be a villain as well. That's what they do with Hannibal Lecter, right? The fact that Dr. Chilton abuses uh,
Anthony
Hannibal Lecter,
Hopkins,
we
yeah.
feel sorry for him, even though he's a cannibal, right?
Right.
So pity is one of them. Humanity is very important, and that basically is show the character's humanity in a sense, make them care about something other than themselves. So
Hmm.
a character who's not selfish, so it's a character who cares about something, whether they care for a dog, they care for a pet, they care for a plant. They do this in the Leon the
Yeah, you
Professional,
read my mind. It
right?
was, yes, yeah,
Exactly, right?
yeah.
Because that's very well done.
It was so
He's a
beautiful. Oh,
killer, right? He's a hitman,
he's
but we
Hitman.
care for him because when he go home, he drinks milk and he takes care for his plant. We know, oh, he's a good guy, you know?
He just happens to kill
He's,
bad guys.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that's one of them. So show humanity, show that you care about something, a cause. You have a friend you care for your parent who's sick. I mean, all this stuff, right? You tuck somebody in bed, you bring him soup. There's thousands of those. So humanity is a second one, and then the third one is the one that most people know about is admiration, meaning that you give the character traits that we all admire in a human being. So think about like in your dating days, you had a list of the admirable traits you wanted in your mate, because that's what most people admire. So somebody who's beautiful or handsome, somebody who's smart, somebody who's funny, somebody who's the best at what they do, right? So the best cop, the best agent, the best soldier, the best whatever, right? Best surgeon. And there's a whole bunch of stuff. Somebody who's courageous as opposed to,
Indiana, like
the
Indiana
list,
Jones, brave.
so
Yeah.
the list of positive traits that are admirable in a person. So when you combine those three, and it's funny because talking about Pixar again, I showed the clip in Wall-E where we meet in the beginning, we meet Wall-E and he's doing the garbage thing. But there's the scene where he finally goes to his house, to his little home, and it's only a 3-minute scene. But in those 3 minutes, you get about 20 plus little tips of all this stuff that I talked about, right? And those 20 things are kind of like designed to make us care about that character. And he's a robot. He's a garbage cleaner, right? But yet you feel sorry for him. You see his humanity. You see that he cares about things. They're showing us how human he is, right? And there's a lot of admirable traits in there about all the little things of how he keeps his house and he collects things and he likes romantic movies and he sings to himself. I mean, there's all these little things that just add up. Those are called the little touches, character touches, and that's what you want in all your characters.
Yeah, yeah, I was thinking about that movie. Like, there's no dialogue.
Well,
There's barely
yeah,
any
yeah,
dialogue in that movie.
yeah. It's like one of my top five favorite movies of all time. That
It's
with Up and Finding Nemo. The Incredibles, Toy Story, Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4. All four of them. It's amazing, right?
All four of them are actually
Four of them
really good.
yeah,
They always hit it out of the park with the Toy Stories,
yeah.
without question.